Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Starting a research without a research question is just like an unguided missile. Technically speaking, any kind of research conducted addresses some kind of problem or issue. A good research is always guided by a research question. Unfortunately, today there is a trend among novice researchers, especially among students. They start their research with a theoretical framework, which is an advanced stage in a research process. Usually, students, particularly in social sciences, come up with a theoretical framework, or they are instructed by their supervisors to do so, which is totally a wrong approach to conducting a research. There is another issue. They use theoretical framework and conceptual framework interchangeably. They are totally two different concepts. I will discuss them in upcoming video. Coming back to the topic, a commonsensical researcher always starts his or her research by exploring the broader area in which he or she is intended to conduct a research. For example, if the broader area is COVID-19, the researcher will explore COVID-19 by identifying its origin, history, and definitions. After that, he and she will further narrow down his or her research focus in order to identify the contemporary issues, or current issues, or ongoing issues, debates, and thinking related to COVID-19. Suppose researcher identifies 4 contemporary issues: vaccination, lockdown, social distancing, and self-isolation. Researcher will review more literature on these issues in order to identify a specific issue which is more important and very hot. Suppose researcher identifies social distancing, a very important and hot issue. After that, researcher will further review the literature on social distancing in relation with COVID-19. Suppose researcher identifies that so far no researcher has addressed the social distancing in relation with coronavirus infection spread and fatalities. In order to address this issue or gap in the existing literature on COVID-19, researcher will develop a research question. For example, the impact of social distancing on the spread of coronavirus infection and fatalities, or does social distancing reduce coronavirus infection spread and fatalities? In the guide of this research question, researcher will develop research constructs. In this case, there are 2 types of constructs or variables. 1, social distancing independent variable or construct. 2, spread of coronavirus infection and fatalities dependent variables. After defining and elucidating these variables, researcher will further review the literature in order to identify theories that would possibly explain the relationship between these 2 sets of variables. Suppose researcher identifies 2 theories, social impact theory and social distancing theory. With the help of these theories, researcher will propose a conceptual model which would explain how social distancing would reduce the impact of coronavirus infection and fatalities. Based on this proposed model or theory, researcher would postulate or set forth the following hypothesis. Social distancing has a positive impact in reducing the spread or coronavirus infection spread and fatalities. This is how a commonsensical researcher approaches to research. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe this channel. Allah Hafiz.